Howdy y'all. It's been a while. Decided to take like a few days break because, well, there really wasn't much of a point continuing on, you know, considering I just finished the game technically, you could argue. But like I said, I was going to do the aftergame, and here I am doing the aftergame. This, the next two parts are going to be based on the Digimon movie. Or more specifically, you know, the mid-section of the movie where Keramon comes into the equation. And I believe it all starts off with like this email to Sora. And Hikari's going to a birthday party. So sadly no healers for this part, but it's not too difficult actually, so I don't think we're going to need a healer on board for this. So, no worries. But I suppose I ought to explain, basically, oh, hello Kashiro. Basically, Kashiro spotted something online. And it's threatening the internet and shit. This is, I can't remember his name. Pagumon? Or... No, it's not Pagumon. Oh, Keramon, I know is the rookie's name, I'm pretty sure of that. But he's threatening the internet and all that jazz. Sucking up data, making things incredibly difficult, and he's digivolving very, very quickly. He looks like one of them hands from Medieval. Anyway, I suppose I ought to explain. Taichi, the whole email thing with Sora, it was her birthday not long ago, and he bought her something and she threw a strop over it because I think she fancies Taichi, and I don't know. I don't know if it's any different in the Japanese version, but you know, in the English version, watching it, I was like, really? She threw a strop over that? I'd be fucking grateful if someone went out of their way to buy something like that for me. Even if that's not my sort of style. So yeah, now we're at rookie form already with this thing. But anyway, I think the long and the short of it is, Sora probably fancies Taichi and she's probably going through a period at the same fucking time. That's the only thing I can think of. Oh my god! Obviously we can't actually be there with them, but we can actually have contact with the digital world. It's a miracle! Yeah, they're all here. They're all here. Unfortunately, not all the kids are going to be on board with this one. I just find it funny that they're talking about Digimon, and Taichi's mother's only right over there. She can't be that deaf, surely. Even if there was like glass blocking things off, she can't be that deaf. Unless she's got headphones in. I know that when I'm cooking, sometimes I like to listen to my iPod. And if that's the case, then fair enough. That clicking noise from the laptop is actually starting to get rather annoying, Kushiro. So basically the whole idea is we're going to get our Digimon onto the internet so that we can get rid of this thing before it gets too powerful. But because only Taichi and Kushiro are available, we only have Agumon and Tentomon to work with. Taichi's trying to call up the other kids here, and it's having no success. At least not at the moment. Obviously there's the whole matter of Sora not talking to Taichi as well. Which is a bit silly because, you know, could have used help. And, you know, she was too busy throwing a strop over a birthday present. Jesus Christ, I'm a woman and I would never have... Well... It's called being grateful for what you get. So, Agumon and Tentomon are going to have to do this on their own on the internet. Well, we've got faith in these guys. They'll be fine. And we actually get to take control of Agumon in this section. I'm going to be brutally honest and say that I don't really like this section very much because it is very easy to get lost in my opinion. I think first and foremost I should probably digi-chip you up, Tentomon, because well, let's look at it this way. You're not going to be we're only going to be participating in this one fight, and it's not going to be a hard fight, but I think on the whole there's no harm in you know, making sure you're at least a little bit prepared. Keramon might be a rookie, but he's not an easy rookie to bring down. So have some healing powers. Like I said, it's not a tricky fight, so I don't suppose I really need to worry so much. I am temporarily moving the SP halving ability to Tentomon because Tentomon also gets through SP really quickly, if I remember rightly. So, you know, I want to hopefully head that off. Oh god, I'm so sorry guys, it's just 9 o'clock in the morning. Rudely awoken by a phone call from my husband. Well, I suppose some people might argue that, you know, I've slept in enough, I should stop being such a lazy moo. He took our, you know, he went out and stuff with everybody, so it's just me on my own, and I thought, well, it'd be a nice time to actually get a lion for a change, and no, nope. Anyway, you got to go through all these different exits, and very often that there's no real indication as to which one is the correct exit and which one is not the correct exit. The walkthrough I was using for this kind of made it somewhat clear as to where to go in the first area, but it's the second area that I do get lost in, I will admit that. So, yeah. God, Agumon jogging still seems really slow, but that could just be the area that I'm in. I don't know why the music suddenly stopped there, but okay. I think I'm on the right one. Like I said, the walkthrough, there was a walkthrough online, and it guided through the first area, but I don't know if it guided through the second area, because I got lost in the second area. Right, that's the one I came through, so that's the one I've got to go in. You'll know you're there because there'll be a save point. You know, when you're going in the right direction. The only real thing that differentiates each area, really, off the top of my head, is the different Digimon. And as you can see, we were heading the right way because here's the save point. And you go in that door and you'll encounter Keramon. So that's really that's really as simple as that. So let's head in there and take Keramon on. Shouldn't be too tricky because he is a rookie, but well, at the same time, don't underestimate him because even though he's a rookie, he's a pretty strong rookie. At least I think he's a rookie. Right, let's do this. Let's get rid of this internet leech. The only thing with the movie is that there's rather a lot of exposition. There's 3 fights, 2 areas where you wander around, and a lot of exposition. So, we enter the fight with Greymon and Kabuterimon. No, you cannot digivolve any further than that. I don't know why, but they put a limit on this fight. Presumably for story purposes, because obviously there's a second part to this movie, which implies that this guy does get away. And it is all story based, that's why we're taking her on with champions. You cannot, like I say, digivolve any further than that. Would have been a sensible idea to put some attack on Kabuterimon, because man, he's fucking weak. I could go with a defense down, but well, he didn't seem that tough, because look at how much damage Greymon did to him. Oh, he's like... Oh. I was going to make a comparison, and the comparison went right out of my head. I figured this might be a good opportunity to show off Kabuterimon's attacks, because let's face it, we're not going to see him again after this fight. I honestly, you know, I was like, oh, this is the last time. I remember in the fight, I'm pretty sure I was in the fight with Mugendramon. I was like, oh, we're not going to be using Kabuterimon again. I completely forgot about this fight. You have to have him in this fight. So technically this is the last fight you'll ever see Tentomon or any of his evolutionary lines in. And it's Greymon that's going to be doing most of the damage here. Like so much they're going to be using defense down. And that might help a little bit. Get this fight over with much quicker. Look, so this thing's not hard. It'll go down really quickly. Especially with Greymon, because Greymon's pretty strong. And in my experience, Greymon gets more experience than all the others anyway, so... He should generally be your strongest Digimon by this point, or at least one of your strongest. Like I say, I did a ton of grinding before I took on Pokemon, so... That's the only reason why Yamato and Gabumon were as strong as Agumon. Otherwise, Agumon would definitely be the strongest, no competition. So, he digivolves into Infamon. I fucking hate spiders, by the way. So, now, after figuring out the champion's attacks doing nothing to this thing, then they're like, we should go to the ultimate level and see what that does. And again, saying ultimate as in the dubbed version of ultimate, not the Japanese version of ultimate, which are completely different. I still refuse to use the term perfect. So the plan is to go up to the next level. Only Infamon is not stupid like all the other Digimon. While they're digivolving, he attacks. Which kind of implies that Digivolution obviously has to take a little bit of time. And if that's the case, then why did none of the other Digimon that they've fought in the past think to do this? If Digivolution takes time, you know, why the fuck did they not think to attack them while they were doing it? They'd be vulnerable. Infamon, man. He's one smart fucker. He defeats these two just like that. And we're back in the real world as our observers. So, obviously we need a bit more help, and we're going to need to track down the bastard again. And probably make sure that we're bloody ready for him this time. The movie is broken up into 3 chapters. And I wouldn't worry too much about having Tentomon on board. Really, he's only there if you run into a wild Digimon while on your journey throughout the internet. But as far as story elements go, we're done with Tentomon, and you know, that's the way it's going to stay. Sorry guys. I'm not sure why they broke this up into 3 chapters actually. Or was it 2 chapters? No, I'm pretty sure it was 3 chapters it was broken up into. So more exposition, of course, because this this is based on the movie, and there's shit tons of exposition. Take your exposition and shove it up your ass. Okay. So Taichi obviously goes back to get into contact with other people and fails again. Like a champ. And then he gets a phone call. Has he succeeded in grabbing somebody? Well, yes he has. But not yet. Infamon has control over the phone lines. God, do you remember back when that was the case? Dial up and all that rubbish. Nah, fuck that. We've got broadband now, motherfuckers. And Wi-Fi. Whoa. Dial up seems like such a really old concept now. But I think that was back in the Digimon age, roughly. You know, when this was sort of set. This was sort of set a few years back. So Kushiro's fucking off and leaving us. Just to get something, I think. Oh, do we really need this exposition? Does Taichi's mum even know what's going on? Well, Taichi's obviously hit on something. Oh, well, he can't get in contact with Mimi because Mimi's decided to fuck off on holiday to Hawaii or wherever else. And of course we got Sora, who's pissed off with Taichi for no fucking good reason. Kushira's back. And Taichi's still not having much luck on the phone with people. And well, Kushira's obviously got something that'll bypass all the rubbish with Infamon taking over the phone lines. So that's what he fucked off for. And left me with that boring exposition for. God damn it. Why does this exposition have to take so long to get through? I could always skip past this, but I wanted to keep it in for the sake of the, you know, let's play. Are we finally getting in contact with somebody? Yamato and Takeru. Which is good, because it means we have 2 extra pairs of hands. One of which being the other Mega. Which we're gonna need. And it's worth noting that unless you enter and, you know, put Patamon in your party and enter into a fight with a wild Digimon on the internet, you're not going to really using Patamon either. So, Takeru's kind of just there for this. Okay, so now that we've sorted that out, and we've got 2 team members on board, on the other end, on their computer or whatever, we're about to go online again and have another shot at Infamon. About fucking time, because this is getting boring. I really have nothing to say at this point. There we go. Yamato is online. So we obviously get to come back on the internet, and we are united with Gabumon and Patamon here. But like I said, unless you're running into wild Digimon to grind, or just because you accidentally ran into them, the only Digimon you need to worry about using are Agumon and Gabumon for the main fight with Infamon. Patamon and Tentomon are just kind of like there for the plot, and that's it. I believe this time there is no restrictions on Digivolution, which is good. Okay. I love that. Right, let's do this. Bear in mind, I am going to get very, very lost here. I don't believe this is the same as the way the dungeon was set up before. If it is, then I do apologise. I'm putting this back on Gabumon because, as I say, Gabumon also gets through experience pretty darn quickly. So, and considering I'm not going to be using Tentomon anymore, what's the point of leaving it on him? So I'm going to save the game real quick. Like, fuck am I going to sit through that exposition again? Now, as I said before, this is certainly a little bit more confusing, if memory serves. And the only real difference between these areas are the Digimon that roams in them. And occasionally you might find that one which is sort of like a dead-end-ish, but I don't think there's any difference other than that. So, you know, this all looks very similar. It's all very confusing and it's all bullshit because you find yourself getting lost quite a lot. At least I did. You could probably put this down to me being a bit of a noob, but I don't know why, but I actually thought I'd been through that door already and that I'd kind of backtracked on myself. So, yeah. See what I mean about these areas all looking very samey and, you know. Just, yeah. The areas looking all very samey is one of the biggest reasons why I'm not at all fond of, you know, wandering around this area. Once you get to Infamon, that's it. You don't need to worry about wandering the internet ever again, but still, this is bullshit. Okay. So, like I say, just check all the exits. You'll eventually find the right one. Eventually. And there's nothing in here, I don't think. Occasionally you might come across like a dead-end room, but it has an item in it, but who cares about the items at this point? I just want to get things done. Right, I think there's an item in this room. Yeah, there is. Right by Sneemon. Just gotta skip by him. And let's head back. I don't know if I've tried that exit yet. So this is frustrating, this area. This kind of implies that you maybe might have found the right area because the music stops. But I probably should point out that the sound has kind of faded and wasn't coming out of my speakers anymore, so, you know, if the sound stopping is any indication we're going the right way, then I had no idea about it. As I say, it doesn't really matter who's in your party at this point. Because let's face it, I have no intention of running into any of these wild Digimon. I just really just want to get through this as quickly as possible. I want to find Infamon because there's only so much wandering around you can do before it gets really, really boring and dull, and oh, you just resent the fact that this dungeon is so samey looking and boring. I could have sworn I saw an item. Could have sworn I saw an item. And I don't think there is an item. I think I was seeing things. So I'm going to go the long way around because I don't want to run into Airdramon. Not that it'd matter if it did, but it would just take longer. Oh man, oh man. I don't want to go back through there. I want to go back through here and pray. I suppose this is a rather unique perception of what the internet would look like if you're wandering through it. But it looks a bit bland. And like I said, it's very samey and I don't appreciate that. Anyway, I'm probably going to end this part off here because... Oh wow, we actually are heading the right way now. That's alright then. No more wandering through the dungeon, we can get straight into the fight with Infamon in the next part. Anyway, like I said, I will see you guys in the next part where we'll take on Infamon and finish off the events of the movie. I'll see you then.